There we go. There we go. All right. Hey, welcome to Tuesday night. Welcome, welcome. We're missing a whole bunch of people because I think that there's still a bunch of people that are over in the other Zoom, which is fine, totally fine. These things will actually, how will that work? It'll stay 8 Central. So it will go to 7 in a couple weeks. So the first, whatever day it is, Tuesday of the month, is always a meet and greet over at Team Awesome. And that's cool. I don't want you guys to miss that, but I also don't want to start messing around with our team call time because then nobody knows when it is. So we're just going to leave it the way it is. It's all fine. It's all fine. Hey, as usual, if you are here and you are in the bathtub, please take my encouragement, keep your video off. If you are not in the bathtub or otherwise indisposed, please turn on your video because we'd love to see you. And this did not, nothing really happened here today. It's clean. That's about all you get. So if you think that you don't have it, there you go. Sister friend Jocelyn is at the gym. Good on ya. Diana's like, yep, it's how I show up for my Zooms too. It's like my favorite thing. All right. Well, hey, what a crazy month end we ended up having for February. And then did everybody just have a bird because it's still going? It's still going. Oh my gosh. So if you haven't heard, here's the news. Memberships are $1. We still have the free shipping, or we still have the 10% off, whatever the deal is. We still have it. We have the things. We have the things, guys. 10%. So excited. Sam 2020 still works. And we've still got get 2 ambassadors, get an extra $50 for every 2. So if you get 4, you get 100. If you get 6, you get 150. It's so exciting. So maybe money doesn't drive you, but prizes do. So here's what I'm going to suggest for you. If money doesn't drive you, but prizes do, pick your prize. Here, you have $150 American to go and spend it on whatever you want to spend it on. Right? What is that? I need to do the little conversion. 1.28 times, it's $200. So what would you want for $200 if you got 6 ambassadors before the 15th? Go pick something. Sometimes money doesn't work for us, but something else does. Cool, right? Or you could even, if you really wanted to incentivize yourself, you could add the $20 for every person. So you'd actually be 120 and 150 times 1.28. Oh gosh, that was there was a comma in that number. That was not right. Time 120 and 150. Sorry, my fingers are flying too fast. Did you guys know that's $350 between your welcome pack bonuses and your extra stuff if you're a Canadian? That's $350. Yeah. Just as a bonus. And that's not even including points. Now see, I'm starting to say that it's $12 per person, not 15, because then I can convert the whole thing. That's almost another $100 with points. Wow. Gee, I wish we had something that we could do where we could just make money, really, just, snap our, no. Bring the people, change their lives, and say thank you, Plexus. Buy the person a coffee. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm so excited to be here with you because we have 2 incredibly special guests that are going to speak tonight. So excited. So I didn't tell them who was going first, but I'm actually going to let Diana speak to us first. Diana's going to share with us her story and a little bit of why she started her business. Diana had a really successful month. I was going to say she cranked out 4 new level 1s. It's not what I mean, but y'all get it, right? She inspired 4 new people to join her team last month. So congratulations, Diana.
Thank you.
Hey, can you tell us a little bit about your journey?
Well, I started Plexus back in December of 2018. The reason that I started was because I was having incredible hot flashes and night sweats, and nothing seemed to be working. Nothing that I was doing seemed to be working. And so when Nikki was on Facebook, of course, sharing her story, saying how fabulous she was feeling, I was wondering if perhaps it could work for me. And she said, absolutely. And so I started taking the products just after Christmas. And by March, I actually was starting to feel a whole lot better. I also had a bit of joint pain and sugar cravings that were like beyond. I would eat chocolate chips, like the milk chocolate kind, by the handful every afternoon. And I bought the great big bag, and they sat in the cupboard, and yep, I ate those suckers. And, started with Plexus, and all of a sudden they didn't even appeal to me anymore. And I was sleeping better. And then, of course, my husband said, I wonder if this would work for my heartburn. And I said, absolutely. I've heard lots of things about, heartburn and stuff. So we got him started on that. And he actually suffered for 25 years plus. And he would have heartburn every single day, all night long. Nothing worked. Even prescriptions didn't work for him. And so we put him on the Triplex, and he is doing amazing. If he has heartburn once every 3 weeks, it's incredible. And so that's kind of why I started Plexus. I also then decided that I think it's time to maybe try to get my products paid for, because they're not cheap, but they are worth it. And so I thought, why not? And Nikki's been huge in helping me with that. And she's amazing. And I'll shout out and love to her, because she's fabulous. I love her to death. And she, of course, is my niece. And and so I thought, well, why not get my products paid for? And so we started down that route. And I'm not even sure how long it took me to go silver. I know it took me a while to go silver, and I stuck there for quite a few months, but I knew that I had a lot of personal growth to do. And I'm still doing personal growth. I love it. I love helping people. And of course, my next goal is to go gold, and not far away.
No, you're not far away. That's so fantastic. I love that. And Diana, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about what your habits were before you started Plexus. I mean, besides the milk chocolate thing, but you shared something with me that was really, really impactful a while ago about kind of a decision that you'd made for your physical health.
Yeah, actually, it was probably 10 or 12 years ago that I was diagnosed with high cholesterol. And I decided that I needed to try to fix that. And so every day I would get on my treadmill, and to this day, I'm on my treadmill for at least 40 minutes every day. And I started eating healthier. I get on my recumbent bike for 30 minutes every day. So yeah, I'm exercising at least an hour and a half every day. We walk the dog for 15 minutes, and we try to eat as best and as healthy as we can, but none of that worked. None of it worked.
But I love that you were doing the things, right? Like you'd made the changes in your life. Like some people will do that for a short period of time and it doesn't become a complete life change. You had done these things And can I just say, with all due respect, it was not earlier on in your life.
No, actually it was not.
No, like,
It was, I think it was in 2009 when I actually started a real health journey. And no, I was not young. I am 58 years old, pushing that 60, but
none
that's
of us
okay.
would believe it anyway. So I needed you to like out yourself either by number of grandchildren or something like that,
Yeah.
because I did not know. I had no gauge. It's sort of like you and Sherry Grant. Like, I have no gauge for Sherry. Sherry's like ageless in my mind. And so for you too, because, but now I know your daughter and I'm like, okay, she told me how old she was yesterday. So you've got to be, unless you had her when you were like 5, this is not computing in my brain.
Actually, no, I was 24 when I had Nicole, and I was 27 when I had our other daughter. And yes, I am 58 years old and I am proud of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I bet you feel younger than you did 10 years ago.
Absolutely. I feel fabulous.
I think that's amazing. I love your story so much. And the more I get to know of your story, the more I adore it. And we love you and Cam. And just thank you so much for sharing. And I love that you chose to do this business as a later on in life thing, right? Like, so often we see a lot of these young moms that are doing the influencer thing and they're doing the MLM thing. Guys, there's a space for anybody. Like, right from, I keep telling my oldest son, you spend a bazillion hours on your phone. Why don't you tune into some of the stuff that I'm learning to do on Instagram and the courses that I'm taking, and spend the next 4 years of your life learning how to build an Instagram? And if you decide, or a social media following, if you decide to pull the trigger the day you turn 18 and you want to do Plexus, do it. You're going to have a good income, right? Like, it's there for that generation. It's there for, like, it's everybody, right? It's
right.
So,
and also, Janelle, we also have another business that I run with my husband out of the home. And so they say the busy person is the person that you want to get on board with you to do this business, because they will run with you.
absolutely. Hey, Diana, so could you give us any tips if we want to reach out to somebody who is like you, who's maybe,
Well,
yeah, busy?
I say to try to build the relationship first, because to me, people need that right now. They need people to know that they care and they want help. I've had a couple of cousins in their 70s that have started with Plexus just in the last couple of months, and they are having fabulous results. And so I just say, go for it.
I love that. I love it, love it, love it. Guys, if you take nothing else away, she's telling you to go for it. Stop asking too many questions in your brain. So fantastic. And Nicole, I have to ask you, you got to be so proud of your mom. Yeah, she totally is. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing with us. She was such a good sport. I'd meant to ask her earlier, but she's just so good, just off the cuff. So now I'm going to introduce our next team member, who's going to be sharing a little bit of her story with us and some things that have been on her heart. We have been watching her blow up with sponsoring over the last couple weeks. And I mean, she talked to us about a mindset shift that she had from the beginning. When did you share that with us? Was that last week's call that you, Chelsea, that you shared about, you thought that we were all crazy?
No, I shared that during our Gold Mastermind thing.
Right. Okay. I want you to talk about that a little bit, because I think it's so key. But
Okay.
Chelsea brought on 7 new level 1s last month. Plus, she helped a bunch of people sign their own level 1s. And I feel like a horrible person, because guess where she landed last month? She landed 2 ambassadors away from gold. 2. Just 2. So I'd like to introduce you to an up and coming gold in the very near future. Chelsea Harder, please take it away. Take as much time as you would like. We want to hear from you. We love you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I just want to say how much I've grown to love and appreciate every single one of you. And I'll just quickly talk about what Janelle was just mentioning just now. So in July, when I started, Alicia, is so amazing, and she's just so bold, and she's like, you should join the Zoom. You should hop on. Come on, let's go. And I'm just kind of like, and I'm the kind of person, like, my personality is like, okay, I want to make people happy, so I'll just go to make her happy. But like, I don't really want to get into this. I didn't want to do this with a business. I already was selling Norwex and Pampered Chef, and I did not need another thing on my plate because I was having a baby. And so I was not a fan of, but she somehow talked me into getting the ambassador thing, and I was like, I don't know how she did that, but she did. And so then I was getting the ambassador price, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's what we're doing. And so when I first jumped on the Zoom, I was thinking, man, like, these people for real, like, this just sounds like a bunch of people trying to like talk themselves into self-motivation and self-improvement. And I mean, I didn't think you guys really believed it. I don't know why I thought that. I think because I didn't believe it. I don't know, but I judged you guys really hardcore, to be honest. And I would kind of chuckle in the background, like, there they go, with the mindset talk all over again. And just like, I was rolling my eyes. But then I started to really realize that this is a group of people who really care about helping people. And that is actually why you share. I thought for some reason that, people just want to rank up. And so then people are what they need to get there. And there's an aspect to that, but it's not just numbers in a pail to put in your bucket and be like, look how many I have in my bucket. Yeah. It's like, yes, we cheer each other on and stuff like that. But I started to realize the more that I was helping people and the more people's lives are being changed, I started to realize, how can I not share this with people? And then I think it was last month or even a few weeks ago, I had this shift in my mindset of like, I'm not selling Plexus. Like, I don't sell Plexus. People ask me like, how's that going? Like, selling Plexus. And people say, oh, what are you doing now? I was like, oh, I sell probiotics, and I sell vitamins. And they're like, oh, cool. Yeah, whatever, like, but I should have said, I change lives. Like, I give people tools that help them like live their life again and get their life back. That's totally different than just like, I sell supplements. Like, oh, I sell measuring cups. Like, whatever. Measuring cup isn't going to change your life. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that I've really come to love and appreciate all of you girls. And I have come to understand that mindset is huge. And I'll kind of get into that. But something that I want to talk about 3 things: presence, perspective, and persistence. When we're talking with people, I realized, like, if I just hop into someone's chat and been like, hey, how are you doing? Not feeling good? Plexus can help you. They're like, ghost. And I realized that's what I would do too if somebody hopped in my messenger like that. And anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I realized that people want Plexus, but they don't know that they need it yet. They want what Plexus can give them, but they don't know yet that Plexus can give them that. And so we trust our friends usually when something's working for them. That's why people say, oh, if it's working for me, then I'll share. And then people say, well, if it's working for you, then I'll jump on, right? because we trust each other. But so when you have a presence in people's life and they start to really trust you, that you're not just some sleazy salesperson just trying to get their money and take advantage of them, that you actually really care about them, you care about their health, care about how they feel, then honestly, I think the Lord starts doing a work in your heart. Like, you cannot let these people go. You need to fight for this person. Like, you need to, in a gentle way. But the presence that I realized I needed in people had to be like through thick and thin, not just like when, not just, because maybe I would mention Plexus here and there and they were kind of like not really into it or something, but just keep talking to them. Don't like leave, because, then your true heart really came out and showed that you don't really care about that person. And, and as it goes on, like, that's what we want to grow in our heart. And so, but something that I've been doing is seeing some people and being like, you know what, I think this person would either be an amazing person who would love to help a lot of other people, or it looks like their health is really in a rough spot. I'm going to insert myself into their life. I'm going to show my presence in their life by sending them messages. Hi, how are you doing today? Like their posts, comment on their posts, send them voice memos. I like to pray for my friends through voice memo, but yeah, your presence in their life is going to help build trust, and it gives more longevity to it, and this is something that I heard a while ago, is people might say no to a product, but they won't say no to you. And so it'll help them also kind of stay with it longer and trust you through the process, through the detox, man. Sometimes that can really turn some people off, but if they trust you, you're like, trust me, it gets better, then they'll go with you. And the next thing I want to talk about, perspective. Okay, so when my perspective shifted from I'm helping people, not selling things to people, and like really finding that in my heart, like, what is my motive? The Bible talks about don't do anything out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility, consider other people as more important than yourself. And then I realized that my perspective needs to be that this is helping people, that I don't have to, and it changed the way I approached it, actually, because when I'm sharing things that I think is really going to help my friends, non-Plexus related, and it's really going to help them, I'm like, come on, like, this is so good, oh my gosh. But I'm gentle with it, like, like, you don't like just keep like, hey. But there is a place for that as well. So but I also wanted, with the perspective, it's like, what perspective does this person have? Part of that's important, but sometimes it's not, because people are going to think what they want. And like, I had the perspective at first that you guys were all about yourselves. And that's not because you were saying that, but that's because I was judging you. And, that wasn't true about you at all. But the more I got to know you, the more I got to realize your hearts, and the test of time really showed that you do care a lot about people and their health and them feeling better. And you care about one another and cheering each other on. And so also with the messaging, with the perspective messaging, how would you receive the message that you are sending someone if someone sent that message to you? Does this sound inviting? Does this sound relational? Does this sound salesy? Does it sound desperate? I've been there with the desperate. I've done that before as well. So this is not me coming from a place of perfection. I've had to learn many times. I went like so many months without signing anybody up because I just didn't know how to share this, because I had only sold like Norwex and Pampered Chef before in my life. So I didn't know how to do this. Norwex can change some people's lives. Pampered Chef can help people with it. They don't like change their whole life. So the way that you present it is different, right? Yeah, and then persistence. Like I said before, some people need you to fight for them and to stick by their side and to not give up on them. So sometimes those conversations mean 30 to 90 days. Sometimes it means 30 to 2 years. And just always being present in their life and praying for them and encouraging them through their struggles that they're going through. And at some point they might say yes, right? But it's important that even if they don't ever say yes to Plexus, they get to have a great friend in you, and they get to have someone encouraging them in their life, and that's really valuable as well. But what would you do for a friend who is really struggling? You would be persistent. There's one of the girls that I signed up this month. I had her on the phone one day and I said, listen, I love you. And this is getting worse. And this is not getting better at this point. It doesn't look like it. There's less and less things you're able to eat. There's less and less things you're able to do. You have a small son. This is no way to live. You deserve so much better than this. And she messaged me later. She says, you're right. I need to do this for my son. I need to do this for my family. I need to do this for myself, And it's true. You can't let people give up on themselves. People are so much easier to give up on themselves if there's no one to encourage them. And so, yeah. But sometimes persistent just means anytime there's a promotion, just being like, hey, I know that we had talked before about it, and I don't know if this makes a difference, but just want to let you know this is happening right now. And I know sometimes money is tight, and I want to help you out in any way I can. And so, yeah, I love voice memos so they can always hear your voice, especially with the hard questions that you're afraid people are going to ghost you about. People are way less likely to ghost you if you send a voice memo, in my personal opinion, just because it's you. It's not just words on a phone in a messenger box. It's your voice. And so, yeah, I don't know what else to say, but I love you guys, and I honestly don't know how last week happened. I was very stressed. I was very stressed. My house was a mess. And Reiner was amazing. He helped me so much. But when they told me they extended it 2 weeks, I'm like, I don't know if I can do that for another 2 weeks. But we'll see how it goes. Oh my gosh. But maybe with the last week. Yeah, maybe next week we'll go hard again. But I needed a little bit of a rest. I could feel it. I was like, whoa, that was high stress. I needed to calm down a little bit. But it was the Lord.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. Does anyone have any questions for Chelsea about all that she shared?
I don't have a question, but I am just so proud of you. And I just, I'm like a mama with little baby chicks that are just growing and learning to fly on their own. And you have far surpassed anything I've taught you. And I don't know, I don't feel like I've done anything. I think the Lord has done something amazing. And it's just so amazing to see your growth and see you just love people. I'm learning from you. And so yeah, no questions, but wow, so much wisdom. Who else got a ton of good tidbits out of these moments from Chelsea? Woo!
I was going to say your other upline there is cheering up over in the corner. Leona and Jimmy Lou are both yeah.
I don't even have any Kleenex, but I was like, oh, yeah. So,
and I wanted to point out something that one of the things that is so special is that Chelsea is just being herself. If you go to her Facebook page, her love is to share her passion of doing worship music and singing and playing. And so I think Chelsea, you probably do once or twice a week where you just turn on the camera live and you start singing and praising the Lord. And so that's just who she is. And so be yourself. Don't try to be something else. Don't try to be Janelle or a Leona or a Jimmy Lou. I don't know why you'd want to be that, but just be yourself, right? Just be yourself. Right?
I want to be you, Jimmy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanna
Okay.
be you too.
Why wouldn't you want to be Jimmy? I want to be Jimmy.
So
Anyway.
but just be yourself, and that's the key. And it was funny because the night after the craziness happened, I went to your profile because I'm like, I gotta figure out this girl. I mean, I've seen her some stuff, but what is she doing? She's not sharing a whole whack a load of, hey, another sale, hey, look at here, Plexus, blah blah blah. You're just being yourself, and people are like, what is this girl doing? I'm just so intrigued. I need to watch her. So way to go, Chelsea.
Mhm.
Yes. Awesome.
And then my heart just swells because I hear Stacy talk about Chelsea, and she's just so like, gosh darn proud of her. And she's like, you're just flying. And I'm like, but that's how I feel about all of you. And I'm like, and you have people that you feel the same way about. I love it. It just, yeah, it just grows and grows and grows. But something that I thought was that really struck me about something that you said, you talked about that people would just have a friend, right? If they didn't decide to do Plexus, then they got a friend. And I want to really encourage you guys, if you haven't gotten to this place yet, sometimes as women, we get afraid of being vulnerable and putting ourselves out there to other women to the point of having deep relationships with other people. If that hasn't been your journey, then hey, cool, just put a pin in that. But I've talked to enough people, even on this team, on this call, where those relationships were hard, or they still are hard, or they're afraid of them because they've had past hurts, or all of those things. And I'm not saying that we are perfect. We are not perfect here. But it's like you learn how to selflessly invest in other people without wanting the return back. You just want to give to them because you know there's something better for them. And it gives you the permission to be vulnerable and to extend that piece of yourself to other people. So if you haven't hit that point yet, it's okay. You're among friends who were scared to reach out and do the relationship thing, right? I mean, I think it's so interesting that Fallon Black was like, I didn't do relationships with people. I wasn't outgoing. I wasn't. And you know what? Now, if you see her and her team at convention, at whatever, they are tight. It's like you come in there and you are in this space, and they care so deeply about each other. And it's not just I always say it, and guys, maybe it's creepy. Somebody stop me if I need to stop saying it. But I don't ever want the relationships on this team to be like, oh, that's so nice. It's Linda's birthday. I'm going to send her a birthday card. Linda knows what I'm going to say. It needs to be like, I will jump in front of a train for you. And I mean, pretty figuratively, because I don't want anybody jumping in front of a train for anything. Stay off the tracks. But you get what I'm saying. This is not a surface place. This is a place where I want you guys to be encouraged to go deeper and to experience healthy, positive relationship with people. And that's just, it's what I found with this group of women. And I think we need more people to come in and be like, hey, guess what? A group of women does not need to be scary. A group of women does not need to be dramatic. A group of women can actually work and cheer each other on and run alongside one another, and nobody is competing with anybody else. We are here to hold each other up and be excited about your successes and all of those things. And your success, Diana's success, Chelsea's success does not hinder my own or anyone else's, right? And vice versa. there's enough sun for everyone. And I love bringing people into this community for exactly that, because it is so different than a lot of places, right? You sometimes have to deal with your crap, but it's okay. We're all kind of calling ourselves out on our own pile of poo, right? And that's the way that it is. So that's awesome. Chelsea and Diana, thank you so very much for all that value that you just poured on us. I don't feel like I want to say anything else.
Can I answer Jessica's question?
Please do.
Jessica, I would say with sharing and boldness, really honestly, it came down to building my own belief. Because the more I built belief in what Plexus can do for people, the more I was determined that I needed to do whatever it took to figure out a way to best help someone. And that's going to look like you. It's going to look like you being yourself, helping people the way you like helping people. And for me, that was, it was like if a cup of water was the only thing that was going to help someone parched in the desert, I got to find a way to get that cup of water, and I got to find them in that desert, and I'm going to do it because I care about them. And so Plexus has to be that cup of water for me, that this is the solution to the thing that they need, you know? And so I spent a lot of time, on the Plexus Products testimony page. I love that page. And also the Real Stories, Real People page. It shows videos and stuff like that. And it just encourages my heart a lot. And it just reminds me that these are real people sharing these stories. These aren't just random statistics that show that our product works. These are real lives that have really been changed. And I want that to be my friend's story too. And so it's asking the Lord to help your love grow in your heart for people, but also asking him to give you the boldness. But the more that you love, the bolder you become in helping someone. Like if you get in between a mama bear and her cub, you betcha there's gonna be some crazy stuff going on. That mama bear is gonna fight. You know what I mean? So whatever it takes to build your belief, whether it's watching diamond documentaries or watching videos and testimonies, and just inserting your people in your life, yourself in people's lives, asking them how they're doing, how their day was going, what their pain is like today, just so that you can just be there with them. You know, it kind of gives you an idea that their pain isn't going away and it's only getting worse. And if you love them, it'll come out. So I'm sorry if that went too long. I love you guys.
No, that's okay. They wanted to know what the names of those pages were again.
Plexus Product Testimony page.
Mm-hmm.
And
Stories,
real stories, period, real people.
Very cool. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. There's a Because of Plexus playlist on the Plexus Worldwide YouTube channel as well. And those are all compliant to be shared right on your page. Then of course we've got Gut Health and Happiness. Yep, Gut Health and Happiness, True North Health and Happiness. We've got lots of testimonial pages. But yeah, those are pretty cool pages. Awesome. All right. So a dream or a plan is just a dream unless it's written down, guys. So I want to know if you guys have written your plan down. See, look at the sticky note. Almost like she's done this before and is really focused on being successful. She actually sent me a picture of her sticky note at the end of last month with all of the blanks filled in. And I'm so impressed. So do you guys have your sticky notes ready? Do you have your maps done? Do you need help with mapping? What do you need? What do you need, sweetheart, right? What we were asking on our gold call, our gold masterminds call on Saturday morning. What do you need, sweetheart? Ask yourself what you need in order to be successful this month, and realize that you are the solution for every single thing on that list. There is nothing holding you back but you. I don't care if you don't have a ring light. I don't care if you don't think you know enough people. I don't care if you don't have good enough internet. See, Leona's sitting in Jimmy Lou's office because she's getting her done. She's like, my internet across town is not so good, so I'm going to the other side of town where the internet's better, and I'm going to do the things, right? Maybe it's, I am not brave enough to share my story. Well, guess what? Practice makes perfect, and we have lots of opportunities for people to tell their stories. So on Monday night, we're having a health Zoom. I am looking for 2 more people to come join Katarina and myself to do one of the health Zooms. So if you guys are wanting a push, is that the right word? If you guys are wanting a challenge, and if this is speaking to your heart right now and you're like, I am scared, like I might poop my pants, I'm totally afraid to do this, but you're speaking right to me, don't give it a second thought. Send me a message. Send me a message. If there are more than 2 people that message me, guess what? Y'all need to just do your own events, or do a live in the event that we've still got going on right now, our wellness event. Do a live in there, or message me and we can do one together, or whatever. But the more you tell your story, number one, okay guys, you can't impact other people if you don't share your story. It's black and white. It's super simple. You cannot impact other people with the story you were gifted, because it's a gift, if you're not telling it. And some people need to hear, like Chelsea reminded us, the inflection in your voice, not just words on a page. They need to hear you get choked up at the parts that are super important to you, right? They need that emotional connection. They need to know if it could work for them. Jimmy, were you going to add something in there?
I was just gonna say I was gonna bug a couple people, but I won't say their names out loud.
That's okay. You can do the next one, and then you can take those names and put them in the next one.
Yes. So, but I wanted to say something to everybody, because I feel that sometimes when I hear other people's, you know, how well they're doing at the time and how things are going, sometimes your mindset, the first thing that comes up against you is, well, that was them, and that's why they had that happen, and that is how they've made it, and until we are down in the depths and we turn off our Zoom and we go, well, that's just not me. I'm not going to make it. And I really 100% encourage you ladies to stop that mindset, to stop that stinking thinking, because it will not serve you at all. It will only put you more in the depths of thinking that somehow this is not your place or that you can't do it. Please, please, please do not think that way. That is so important. We are on this journey together, and each of us have our days and our months and our weeks that we're just flying high, and we think we've got it's clicking, right? And then other times maybe there's a lesson to be learned and we're just like, oh, why is this not working for me, right? So I want you to remember that. It's so vitally important. I was thinking about that today. Almost 4 years. Why am I still here after 4 years? And I really feel that so much of it just came back that I needed to realize that I'm not that next person, and I may be in a different place. There's maybe things going on in my world that's very different than somebody else, and I need to just focus on something a little bit differently, or that there's something I need to learn. I'm just not getting it. I keep doing the same thing over and over again. Okay, it's not working. I got to do something different, right? So, but please make sure, as you hear, a success of somebody else, please do not turn that into, well, I guess that's not me and it's not going to happen. Okay. Please make sure that you turn it in the direction of, what am I going to learn from this? But also, like, hey, we're all different, right? And this is just another door we need to get through, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Personal development. That's where it's at.
Yep, absolutely. It reminds me of a quote that I shared earlier today, but I'll change it. The original quote is, if you are on a continuous search to be offended, you will always find what you're looking for. But let's switch that out. If you are on a continuous search to, if you're on a continuous search, oh, now it's gone. Hold on just a second. It's right there. If you are on a continuous search for failure, you will always find what you're looking for. I've never been a success in anything in my life. I've always stopped at this point. I can only ever go halfway. Big success like that isn't for me. Just like what Jimmy said. Stop the stinking thinking. Yeah. And the crazy part about it is, like I said the other day, there are 1,000 people waiting for you to get your poop in a group, if I quote my sister-in-law, to get your poop in a group and tell your story. Because that is what they need to hear. Those 1,000 people, or 2,000 people, or 3,000 people, or more, they're tuned into your story because it's supposed to speak to them. And we just need to tell it. And there'll be people out there who don't want to hear your story. And that's okay. That's okay. It's totally fine. You are not a taco. You're not for everyone. Right? Somebody needs to hear where you've come from and how you got where you are now and where you're going. All right, guys. I am going to task you with something for the last 10 minutes because I know you all time blocked out a whole hour for this call. And I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Like, I'm going to let you go. But if you haven't done your goal setting, I want you to do that right now. And then I want you to list 3 actionable things you can do this week that are going to get you closer to that goal. 3 actionable steps. Maybe that's making mindset training or personal growth a bigger priority and finding a space for that in my life. Maybe it's, I need to make sure that I'm reaching out to 2 people about Plexus every day. And maybe it's, I need to be filling my funnel. One of the most discouraging things to feel like with Plexus is that you have nobody to talk to. But I think Chelsea was a beautiful reminder that she's inserting herself into people's lives, not necessarily to make a change today with Plexus, but she wants to just be the change, right? Be willing to be vulnerable enough to be the change for anybody else who's needing one. Do not be a doormat. That's not what we're saying, but be the change for those people. All right, guys, I love you so much. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for sharing. And you guys join us at on Team Awesome on Thursday night for the Moneymaker Zoom. It is not a dance class. It's not that kind of moneymaker. It is the money-making Zoom, and you can connect people who are looking for a little bit of extra cash in their pockets. Now is a great time to talk to those people, guys, who just simply need some more money. It's not all about the money, but you know what? Something is going to pique somebody's interest to come on board, right? It's either going to be their health. It's either going to be their health, the community, or the money. They have no idea that they need the other 2 out of the 3. All right. Thank you so much for investing in this team, in this family, in this culture. I love you all. You are such an important part of it. I see you. I love you. You're valued. Have a wonderful week. The recording will be up. Love you much. Don't forget. Sorry. Don't forget one more thing. Don't forget. By the way, Laura's Laura's daughter-in-law, or soon-to-be daughter-in-law, landed in Abbotsford. She is there right now. She got through the border, no problems. We're so thankful. Oh, so thankful. Praising all about that. Building a Story Brand. Come join us, 10 o'clock Central Time on this number, please and thank you. Please read up to the end of chapter 1 or listen up to the end of chapter 1. That's what we're going to be going over on Saturday morning. All right. Okay, guys. Love y'all. Have a great night. Bye.